I enjoy about a lot of Korean comics is a tendency to explore dark ideas in a more honest and brutal way than I feel like appears in most other cultures' comics. I feel like just in a lot of other cultures, brutality in its most honest form is not done so authentically. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? It's like, speaking from like Western content, right? Like Western culture, there definitely are plenty of like stories that are brutal, that are done in like a very honest and authentic way, right? Stuff that comes to mind is like The Sopranos, but I think with like Western culture, it's a lot more rare. Western stories just revel in brutality. I agree with that. Western lit sexy brutality, Eastern lit brutal brutality. I think that's a good way of putting it. Brutality in like a lot of Western media tends to be glamorized, right? It tends to be, this is cool or this is justified, and any like after effects or whatever are only there to service the plot if they're mentioned at all in any sort of negative way. You know what I mean? Whereas in my experience with like Korean comics, it tends to be more, here's this fucked up thing that happened, here is how it affects everything around it, here is the aftermath of it, here is, I guess, like the reality of the situation. You know what I mean? Which is just, it's refreshing. It's very, very refreshing. I still enjoy American media and stuff as well, but it's like, it's refreshing to see stories like A World That I Rule. Pepper reads porn was. I'll read something that has pornography in it if it's a good story. I think Killing Stalking is Korean, right? That's like another like porn story that's very brutal. If this was, if Killing Stalking was made by like Americans, right? I feel like generally it would be more played safely, I guess. I don't know. The closest comparison I can think of is something like, it'd be like the show You, you know? Toned down. Yeah, very toned down and very like, this is acceptable because of X, Y reasons, you know? And less like, here is how gruesome this situation is, you know? I recommend What Happened Inside the Dungeon. It's good comedy. I've read that one. It is also very smutty, but it is very, very good. With like some really sad character deaths and everything.